Okay, welcome back. This is our latest Clean Slate episode here, and right now we're just with Nova on her own. She's been awakened from a bad dream about her past, and now she's encountering this weird guy who's leaving behind little slabs of rock for her to read. It's like a little message that's spread out. And I gotta go over. Wait, where do I go? Oh no, I can't go up here. Shit. Yeah, so I gotta find all the little plaques here, and this dungeon. Actually, don't even call it a dungeon. This little map here we wander around is pretty terrible. The encounter rate's like off the damn charts, and you just have to keep walking around looking for those plaques. And thankfully, I'm since I'm level 50, I can run away from all the fights. But when you're playing this and you're Nova, who isn't necessarily like a heavy offensive character. I mean, she's got she's got the water spells and everything, but she's not full on like attack machine like Turnus or something. She's got she's kind of plays a supporting role in the party, and so fighting these groups of monsters with just her is really hard when you're low level. They're hard to run away from, and they can chip away your hit points after only a few turns. And yeah, this section was tough for people. I think a lot. I mean, I only watched a handful of people play the whole thing through, but game overs were pretty common in this stretch. I think I might have done this without encounters if I were to do it now, just because its its purpose is primarily for story and not for geez, barely see that one. And not really for leveling up Nova or anything like that. God damn, enough. Yeah, so I think this might be one of the last ones, or at least like the second to last one, maybe. In terms of what this stuff is saying, this guy who's leading her on this wild goose chase, it has some connection to her family, which because her mom and dad died so suddenly, there's a lot that she didn't learn. It's a bit like Auburn in Master of the Wind, kind of. Just not really getting the whole story. So now we've caught up to him. I have a chat with him. And he looks like a human, but he's not. He is a griffin. Goes by the name Griff, which is very unimaginative, but there is a reason for it. Towards the end of the game, we'll finally get the reason for that. So he knows Nova's parents. He refers to them by their first names, and he was given some sort of instructions by them before they died to help her, sort of take up their cause, and to make sure she was ready for that. So now they're going to spar a bit, and there's a bit of a boss fight here, and that's when he reveals his true form, a griffin. And in the sort of lore here, griffins, he's paralyzed. He's screwed now. Griffins don't speak the language of humans, or the common language, or whatever you want to call it. They have to use transformation magic to become humans, and then they can speak the human language. So that's what they do to communicate with people. And also, it was a good way to survive, during the Gallian Empire era, where Gallians were trying to hunt down and kill them all. They could just turn to humans and just kind of walk around undetected. So he's gone. He left her a note that was written by her father, or both of them, I guess. And so Arius comes up to chat with her, mostly to give me an excuse to play their joint theme again, this Ninja Gaiden song, or this remix of Ninja Gaiden song that I just can't get enough of. It's so good. So she's trying to explain what happened, but he doesn't know what the hell's going on. And so she's going to read the note, and it goes into detail about their suspicions that her parents knew the council, or the people on the council, before they went into hiding, after the Guardia town was established. And naturally they found that a little weird, and we're concerned about the ramifications for the community. So they started investigating it, and that did not end well for them. And they're from Gallia. Like, her family's got Gallian roots. But they didn't like it. And they knew that they would be in trouble if they kept living in the city and were so vocal about the fact they didn't like it, so they left. And they thought that the other folks that went with them, the other sort of Gallian nobles that later became the council members, they thought that those people were also, giving up on Gallia, wanting to leave it, to start something new somewhere else. And so they trusted them, which, unfortunately, turned out to be a fatal mistake. But, the two of them really did believe in Guardia and what it was supposed to stand for, even if the council, didn't. And they hope that, that dream will be achieved. And so she's, incredibly moved. She's trying not to cry, but she will. And, it's kind of a close moment for them. And I think there's like a funny thing here. Was it? Oh yeah, they spent the night like spooning or something. And then it's all awkward when he gets up. It's like, okay, you didn't see anything. So then we're back at the world map here. And then we're going to the shore to look for a ship that has become very rare, in this part of the world. And we're at this guy's house. It's a nice house. I don't know how he got that grass to grow. He's got like AstroTurf or something. So he's inquiring about the ship, and the guy's playing dumb, but they know what's up. And the Galdar being a Minotaur is a nice indicator that it's not Gallia. John, that's a pretty mundane name for a game like this, but it works. And so he wants to. They're in luck, so they have a ship. And Turnus doesn't understand the guy's methods right away. But this guy's part of like a ring of thieves or something that swipe ships from the Gallian ports and sail them over to the other side of Celeste, which was not called Celeste in this game. It didn't have a name. It was just the world. To sell to people who could use them. And so we're going to go over the beach and check out the guy's ship. Now, one of my big beefs with RPG Maker 2000 was the ship chipset. It was so, it was just not user-friendly. It was, really hard to make an entire ship that looked good. I mean, it looks simple. Oh, look at this. Lysander's back. Oh, boy. And this is, of course, the first time that Arius has had to face him since they split apart. And Galdar makes a feeble attempt to arrest Lysander, but Lysander just does not even give a shit. And they're ready to fight, but the fight is not going to go very well. Punk? You call me a punk? And John does not know who he's dealing with. And they all throw their magic at him, their various elements, and he just brushes it off. I mean, that is, you can brush off a fireball and like a lightning bolt and not even act hurt. You're pretty badass. Now he hits them all with this one dark spell. It saps their energy, and now he's, letting Ariel drown them. Can you imagine that? You shoved into shallow water, you got no energy, and you're just like looking up to the water, and you're gonna drown. That's scary. But look who's back. It's Seth. And we got a whole Guardia reunion here. And but Lysander's not impressed. Lysander beat him with like one blow last time. And but Seth is confident, and they're good. This is boring. Lysander's a funny guy sometimes. I mean, he's a heavy, but every now and then he says something that's pretty damn funny. And so Seth is doing a little bit better. Actually manages to knock him back, but then he gets hit with the same, death attack, that shrill noise that just, I don't know, maybe it throws off his, equilibrium or something. But he's got a trick up his sleeve, and if he can't beat Lysander, he's going to destroy that ship. And this is foreshadowing for something that happens way later in the game, part of the strategy to fight Gallia, but, we'll see that in due time. So the ship is now splinters, and Lysander cannot use it, and so he decides to just, bug off, look for some other way to get back to Gallia. He figures the rest of them died in the explosion. Now I gotta wake these guys up. Wake up Galdar. Are we still alive? What do you think, dude? I don't think heaven looks like that. And then wake up Turnus. And he's very shaken by that whole experience. But he acknowledges that, you know, they owe Seth their lives for that little save. And then we're going to wake up Nova, who's, you know, taking it in stride. And then we'll wake up John here. No sense leaving him out just because he's not a regular party member. Yeah, it's the end of my ship, I suppose. Yeah, I suppose. I suppose when it's just a few friggin' wooden beams and barrels, that's the end of your ship. So Arius still wants to try and stop Lysander somehow, even though they just completely got schooled. And Turnus points that out. And he's very frustrated. I mean, a guy like Turnus doesn't like to lose, so it really rattles him. And Arius says that the reason he wasn't able to attack Lysander was that, you know, the very sight of him, he got flooded with a whole new batch of memories from that time in his life, and it really threw him off. But it's also made him even more determined to go after him, to finish his mission, protect Guardia, deal with Lysander, deal with his past implicitly. That's what it really is. That's what this game really is about. And he makes quite a speech here. And then the other guys are moved, and they're all gonna help. I mean, and, you know, obviously Turnus is taking his time committing, but he will. And Nova, of course, is going to help. And so we are renewed for the fight ahead. And we're not going to be confronting Lysander again for quite a while, if I remember right. I think that was, you know, the last confrontation. It's good because it, you know, gives them time to you know, improve their skills, to become better fighters. And this pirate guy is not interested in joining that cause, but he did offer me his house at any point, so let's test that. Yeah, I never got a chance to prowl around his beach house here and look for goodies. Let's see. Yeah, we just left, buddy. And then we're gonna get something out of the fireplace. I think that's just like a little fire-using item or something. He'll throw a fire attack at an enemy, and that looks like that's all he's got. So I guess we're done here, and we'll probably wrap this up. Yeah, here we go. Oh, Harrell. Yeah, anybody from Master of the Wind remember Harrell? That's where we're going next, after this dungeon, which we'll see next time. Alright, peace.